Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it. We're going to have a little bit of fun with, woo! These are going to be, let's call them 5 whiskeys that did not make my top 10 list for 2022. So I'm working on the video. Honestly, I've been kind of going back and forth with my patrons, asking them, hey, what made your list, or what would make your list, your top 10 list? I'm trying to figure out what's going to make mine. So I had to, let's call it, remove some of these whiskeys out of the running. So, but hey, real quick before we get started, let's kind of go through some housekeeping. A couple of things. Number one, I know a couple people reached out to me via email saying, hey, Judge, you have any more Mini Glenns left? I actually did run out, but we did order more, so feel free to reach out. They're 2 for $35, which includes shipping. So reach out to me via email, my website, whatever. And if you're interested in the glasses, more are finally here. Next, I'm getting down literally to the end of the road with my barrel pick. I actually just finished another bottle, and this is a new one here, which is what I'm sipping on right now. Well, this is the newer one. I just finished the other one. The Woodinville cast strength, absolutely fantastic. I call this the spicy bee's knees. I love this pick, by the way. We did a fantastic job, my patrons and myself, selecting this one. So absolutely amazing. Again, I'll put the link to keg and bottle in this episode. That way you can take a look at it. If you're interested, you can grab a bottle. Absolutely some fantastic juice. So, and by the way, obviously, this is not one of the ones for my top 10. This is what I'm just sipping right now, and what I'm about to open up another bottle and sip even more here in a little bit. So this is a coveted bottle that I love, to be clear. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 different whiskeys that, in all honesty, they're buys. Some are buys, some are split decisions, but they're good whiskey. They're new releases that came out in 2022. Good whiskey. I enjoyed most of them, but they just weren't like worthy of truly being in my top 10 list, right? So when you think about a top 10 list, I mean, it has to be absolutely fantastic. So something that is just like game changer, something that's memorable, something that like when you think back, you're like, wow, I remember when that came out, and damn, can't believe it's gone. That's like top 10 worthy. So I will still, finish that episode as well. But for now, I'm going to give you 5 that I know are definitely not making it. And we'll just kind of leave it at that. Cool? All right. So I love my Woodinville pick. Let's move Woodinville over here because I don't want to put Woodinville in that category. Woodinville is in its own category, especially my pick. All right. Let me get a little sip real quick. Whew. My barrel pick does not disappoint. Delicious. All right, so these are not in order. These are just 5 whiskeys that, again, I like them. I just don't love them, and they will not be in my top 10. So number 1, I saw this won some awards online. I think it might have been either, was it Whiskey Advocate, or it was somewhere online. I don't know. This will not be in my top 10, but Jack Daniel's Bonded Whiskey. New release in 2022. Okay, good. Top 10 worthy. Absolutely not. No way, Jose. Decent whiskey, definitely affordable. What, like $30, $35 ish, if you will. But top 10 worthy? Come on. It's just, let's not even go there. Let's not go there. That's number 1 on the list. All right, number 2. Now, I will say part of this was the fact of, at least by me, when I found it, it was like $120, so the price was a little bit more than last year. But more important was the quality of the whiskey. It did not even equal the release from last year. That was part of the challenge I had. And honestly, I felt like it was like a $75, $80 bottle. Way overhyped. I've tried it again numerous times, so it's had time to open up, so I can't use that excuse anymore. It's had time to open up, and it's still just not that good. I don't care what anyone else says out there. For me, and me personally, Remus 6, wonk, wonk, wonk. Big disappointment. The whiskey was okay, but it's a $70 whiskey. It's not above $100 or $120. I think I paid for it. It just is not all that, and it's nowhere near the Remus 5 level. Not at all. Not making my list today. Not making my list tomorrow. I'm only going to have one list, but it's not going to make it. All right, 2 down, 3 to go. No asterisk, by the way, today. Yeah, no asterisks. I didn't want to have too many that didn't make the list, because then otherwise you could just figure out everything else that probably would definitely be on the list. So I'm truly going to stick with just 5 whiskeys that definitely are on my top 10 list. All right, number 3. So number 3 might surprise people because you guys know I love this distillery. One of my favorite hands down distillery for almost everything that they release. This whiskey, I think I even gave it a buy. I like it. It's just not top 10 level. In order for it to be top 10 level, probably just needs to maybe have a little bit more heat on it, be a bit more well-rounded, but it's still a great whiskey as a whole. I like it, but it's just not top 10 level. Not this particular release. Some of their other releases definitely will probably be in my top 10, but not this one. Michter's Toasted Barrel Finish, the limited release from Michter's that came out a few months ago. Good whiskey, just not fantastic. Now we're talking about that barrel strength rye that's over there somewhere. Now that's a different story. But this one, it's really good. It's just, you know, it's highly allocated, a little bit more expensive, I think about $100, and it's just not as good as like some of their other products. I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. You guys know me. It's just the way I am. All right, real quick. I need a couple favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. What are some whiskeys that just, you know, honestly, you were not impressed with this year? You thought you were going to be impressed with it, but you were not impressed at the end of the day. And last but not least, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell so you get notification so that each and every time I release new content, you get a chance to get notified. Cool? All right. Cheers before I make it to the last 2. Ooh. Wow. Woo. My Woodinville pick is damn delicious. Goodness gracious. All right. Number 4 on the list, friends. Number 4. Also from another distillery that makes great whiskey, but honestly, they're known more probably for blending fantastic whiskey. And while I love the creativity, I actually even like this bottle a lot. It's good, it's just not great. There's a clear distinction in my mind of good versus great. Good means, yep, if I see it, sure, I'll go grab a bottle. I'll buy a bottle. I'll enjoy it with some friends. I'll go back to it and have a couple pours. Great are memorable bottles. Ones that you're like, you know, you call your friends like, hey, you know, I just got that bottle. We've all been there, right? You call somebody, this day and age, you text somebody, you throw it on Instagram. Those are memorable bottles. And there are 10 of them that I will release in a couple weeks once we get to January of my top 10 for 2022. But this one, it was just really good. It was not absolutely fantastic. Clear difference. All right, number 4 on the list, coming from one of my favorite distilleries, which I love, Bardstown Bourbon Company. This was the West Virginia Great Barrel Company. Their blended rye whiskey finished in the infrared toasted cherry oak barrels. This is really good whiskey. Notice I said really good. I did not say great. And that is the reason why I want to give it, like, you know, I enjoy it. I mean, obviously I've drank a lot of it, but it's just not great. Key difference. All right. Last but not least. So this whiskey was on my top 10 for 2021, right? Yeah, for 2021, my top 10 for 2021. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. It was actually amazing, and I was really, really impressed. This year, the newer release, both, again, very, very good. I didn't have a chance to find the bottles, but I did get samples from one of my patrons. Thank you, by the way, Chris Bruno. I thought the whiskey was really, really good. It's not on my top 10 this year, not because I don't like it. I do like them a lot. It's just, I think they need to change it up a little bit because, honestly, if you had one, they're not that quite different than the others. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about, you might be shocked here, I'm going to throw in little sample bottles, but this is Maker's Mark BRT 01 and 02 from the wood finishing series. Again, FAE 01 and 02 rather were in my top 10 from last year. They were great. I really was impressed. These are also very good, but I can't say that they are that much different than FAE 01 and 02. They're different, but not that much different. They're not worthy of the top 10 category. And honestly, the BRT 01 and 02, they're truly not that much different than Maker's Mark 46 cast strength. It really isn't. I mean, are there some key differences? Sure, definitely some key ones, but is it significant enough where you're like, you know what, that's a memorable bottle, one that, you know what, I'm gonna go back and say, wow, BRT 01 and 02 just changed the game. It's not that. It really isn't, honestly. Hey friends, until the next time, as we say in this courtroom, peace, cheers, most importantly, salute, my friends. Whew. Time for some more Woodinville. Take care, everyone. See you guys.